Hello everyone, welcome to the Student Investor Podcast with myself, Ivan Sambo. Today's conversation is all about the journey of becoming an accountant or an auditor. I use those two words interchangeably because they're in the same profession. An auditor can never exist without an accountant. I'm correct, right?
Absolutely.
An accountant cannot exist without an auditor.
It's debatable.
But I'm gonna stand my ground on that.
Yeah.
I believe the two of you,
Yeah.
you can't separate. It's like an advocate and an attorney.
They always say that you can always make an auditor out of an accountant, but then you cannot make an accountant out of an auditor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, okay, I see. It's like in my mind now, I'm thinking about law. You can always make an advocate out of an attorney, but you can't make an attorney out of
Something.
yeah, something like that. Okay, everyone, I say welcome to the Student Investor Podcast with myself, Ivan Sambo. The conversation, you already get the cheeks of it. From that short conversation you just had now, you know what's going to happen. We are talking about the profession in the most simplest way possible. At the same time, trying to understand how you can enter into it. Whether you are someone that's already in university, you're going to a pathway to becoming an auditor or an accountant, or you're just someone in high school interested in accounting, don't know what it is, or maybe you're someone already in the profession itself, looking for a body to govern you. We'll be covering all of that in today's conversation. But I'm sitting with Dumisani. I love to always say, I don't introduce people. People introduce themselves.
Okay.
I always believe you can always articulate yourself better than anyone can.
Yeah.
So in short, who is Dumisani?
Yo, Dumisani, I'm from ACCA.
Yeah?
I'm from Klapgat, a small village out of Mabopane. I'm Dumisani. My surname is Mahlangu.
Yeah.
I am an aspiring professional accountant, like your viewers.
Yeah.
I'm studying ACCA. I'm one paper away from being admitted as a chartered certified accountant. I'm actually quite excited about those prospects. But then in the past, I used to be an external auditor at the Auditor General of South Africa. I went to become an internal auditor at the University of Cape Town.
Oh.
And, I also worked at in the liquor industry, but from a regulatory point of view.
Oh, I thought you were busy there, mixing them.
Yeah, no, I regulate them. I tell them when and how they can sell their alcohol. So
You're telling them.
So there was
Yeah.
a manager for compliance and internal controls, and then I was also a designated chief risk officer for that entity, and now I am a loss control management specialist at airports company in South Africa, but I am currently on an acting senior manager role there.
Like I look at you right now and I'm like, the credentials. That's so beautiful. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about the journey in the financial space. Because you are in the financial space, if I can say so.
Yeah.
What made you interested to be in the financial space? Let's start there.
Yeah. So, when you are talking to young people,
Yeah.
you must always talk about money.
Yeah.
The opportunity to make money. It is not there. But then what is there is that it gives you an opportunity to create wealth on a sustainable basis, based on the skills that you learn, from the experience that you will gain later on, and from the degree that you are currently studying.
Yeah.
So that resonated with me.
Yeah.
But then why did I choose auditing? I chose auditing because I believe that, by using a car analogy, you've got a car and then you've got an engine.
Yeah.
So if a car is a business, being an auditor, it's an
the
engine
engine
of that car. Because you got to understand, you are at the heart and at the center of business. And then you got to understand all the moving parts of the business.
Yeah.
And then that's what auditing does to you. And once you no longer want to do auditing, you can branch anywhere within the business world. And then that's what the career has done. My formative career in auditing has done for me.
And I like the fact that you just said it's an engine of a car. Because a business is structured with so many components. There's the business analysis side, there's the financial side, the legal side. If you're an engine, you get to interact with all the other components, and that's why we are saying you can be able to branch out to anything. So now, where does ACCA come into that journey?
So, I mean, to answer that question,
Yeah.
maybe it's relevant at this point to mention where I studied.
Yeah.
So I'm a graduate of the University of Stellenbosch.
Yeah.
And at that university, they had 3 streams for accounting.
Yeah.
So they had a traditional stream, the SAICA stream or the CASA stream,
Yeah.
and then they had a CIMA stream, and then they also had the ACCA stream. So I was on the ACCA stream. So the opportunity, at that point it was still a prospect,
Yeah.
to actually have a global qualification or an international qualification resonated with me. I learned about ACCA
Yeah.
in Stellenbosch, and then when I left Stellenbosch, I started pursuing ACCA because I believe I was once reading a newspaper, and then I came across a word called local. It was a designed word,
Yeah.
meaning global outlook with local context. And then I wanted to be that type of an accountant
Yeah.
who operates and rooted in South Africa, but then has a global outlook in everything that they do.
And that just brings innovation, because when you look at the world and try to implement what the world is doing, South Africa, you are innovative in nature.
Yes.
And that's something that for me that's so powerful. The idea that you can just be loyal to your work in South Africa, but think global. Think of
Yeah.
how can I make what I'm doing here speak to the world. Please forgive the noise, but guys, forgive the noise outside. But the mics won't pick it up. If they do pick it up, do forgive us for that. So now, how does ACCA open opportunities? Because you already mentioned the global one, right?
Yeah.
Besides that, what's the opportunity? What are the opportunities there?
So let me answer this question
Yeah.
in the most simplest of way, and I hope I'm gonna achieve that objective.
Yeah.
There's this thing called artificial barriers. So those are the barriers that are designed, and traditional accounting for millennia, for many years, it has been like that. So ACCA recognizes something, that one, not everyone is wealthy, or
Yeah.
not everyone's socio-economic background is favorable. It also recognizes that not everyone can go to a traditional university or a residential university and study full-time.
Yeah.
So it opens those opportunities. One, it breaks that barriers to say, if you do not have economic means to pursue an academic and a professional qualification, let's do it in a phased approach.
Yeah.
I said the one by one,
Yeah.
So it gives you one. It gives you that opportunity. Any person who understands or who has passed English and mathematics kids, not maths literacy,
They will come for you for that.
can actually study ACCA from scratch. You don't need a degree. You can start from fundamentals levels, and there are 14 papers. It opens opportunities like that.
Yeah.
But then once qualified, and then you've got this professional qualification, ACCA is present in 178 countries. In South Africa, we are viewed as an English-speaking country.
Yeah.
If of all those 178 countries, they are looking for an accountant who is astute, who is good, who's excellent, who's an expert, and can understand and articulate themselves in English, the world is your oyster.
Yeah.
You see, I work in aviation. We are always flying. We are always flying.
And
So-
you're already starting to fly.
yeah. So ACCA opens opportunities, global opportunities, and it let you fly in your personal capacity. And you don't necessarily need to fly globally. You can actually fly here, because why? We've got multinational companies that operate in South Africa, but then they are headquartered elsewhere in the world.
So now I think you just articulated that so well. Now I think the next question is, what's the number one challenge that is faced by people who want to become auditors? What's especially for yourself, what's the one challenge you say, besides the one you have already mentioned, some of the ways to achieve that are so traditional, and some of them don't try to adopt. But for you, individually speaking, personally, what's the one challenge you said and you noticed that's a barrier to becoming an auditor in South Africa?
Yo, Ivan, man, if you asked me that question a year ago, I was gonna answer this question differently.
Yeah.
But then now, because of ACCA being accredited with IRBA, the Independent Regulatory Board of Auditors, that challenge has been removed.
Yeah.
Earlier on, I mentioned to you that anyone can actually pursue an ACCA qualification, regardless of whether they've got and they went to a residential university to study a traditional degree or not. So now that possibility, it is open. So the challenge is not there. Actually, the challenge from becoming a registered auditor or an auditor is yourself, your own self-limiting belief, your own lack of commitment, discipline, you see, and hard work.
Yeah.
Those are the only challenge. Those are the only challenges, and it's no longer artificial barriers. It's barriers that are imposed by yourself within yourself. So, in short, there are no challenges. Let's study Bafwit.
Yeah. So I think you've covered so much. And I love the fact that you've covered so much, but so short in a short space of time. That's so beautiful. But what aspiration? I think what's the bigger goal? I know that question is so primary and so doesn't lack context. But what's the bigger goal when it comes to you in this profession? What do you say? Like, if for example, someone comes and say, you're an auditor now.
Yeah.
And what do you want to achieve in the next 10 years with being an auditor in South Africa?
So, yeah, it's an interesting question for me, right? Because what people don't realize, unfortunately for many people, and not only in South Africa, all over the world, auditing has stigma. You know what's the stigma?
What's the stigma?
Auditing is not sexy.
Yeah, true.
And then I'm here to tell them that actually, if you've got a bigger goal, auditing it's actually attractive, and it can be attractive. Why? Because the moment you grow and then you've got experience and then you develop your expertise in that way, you get invited to be an audit partner. The moment you get invited to be an audit partner, you can be an audit partner in two ways.
Yeah.
You can be a salaried audit partner, or you can be an equity audit partner.
Yeah.
Meaning that once you become an equity audit partner, they give you an opportunity to own that part of the business. What I'm telling your audience is that auditing has it presents an opportunity for you to apply those skills, that boring job, to be entrepreneurial.
Yeah.
And then for most of us, that's what we want to do. We don't want to work for the rest of our lives. But then if there is an opportunity to become an auditor and to understand business, why not? Why not? Why shouldn't I become an entrepreneur?
Yeah.
So maybe the bigger goal, maybe for me personally, once I qualify, I would explore going back into external auditing, and then see if I cannot become an audit partner, and then hone and develop further my entrepreneurial flair.
Oh, I love that. You see, like, you speak with a man with a vision, a man with a goal, a man that knows what the end goal is, and that's so beautiful. And in conclusion, because people watch me and know I don't like to talk too long. I want us to hit the nail and just be done.
Yeah.
In conclusion, what would you say to someone that's trying to aspire to be an auditor, aspire to be an accountant? What would you say to a student that is doing grade 12, doing accounting, writing the exam right now, who want to go to university and study to become an accountant and an auditor? What would you say to a final year student at university who want to now pursue their profession? In short, how would you address all those group of people? What would you say to them?
So I would tell them that actually, with the right attitude and with the right commitment and with a little bit of extra effort, becoming a professional accountant is actually not a rocket science.
Yeah.
Becoming a chartered certified accountant is not a rocket science. You just need to stay the course and have a bigger goal. And your bigger goal does not necessarily need to be 50 years from today.
Yeah.
It needs to be 2 years from today, 3 years from today. A final year, I'm going to be an article clerk next year, or a trainee auditor. Or I'm going to study my honors degree. I'm going to learn something new. And I'm looking forward to that. For a grade 10, is that I need to pass my accounting with at least 70%
Yeah.
and understand those basics so that when I get to grade 11 and grade 12, I can actually pass my mathematics and my accounting very well
Yeah.
so that I can get to university. But then what about that one who's actually completing their articles and
Yeah.
they are in third year? It's like, consider staying within the profession
Yeah.
to actually gain more experience, because now you will be working without having the burden of study. So just focus for another 2 years
Yeah.
and then see if you cannot become a registered auditor and have those opportunities that I was talking about, to be an equity partner in an auditing firm
And get paid in
cool.
dividends.
You get paid. You get your salary.
Yeah.
You get your bonus, and then you get paid in profit share.
Yeah.
And then very quickly, man. I read a book.
Yeah.
It's called Bean Counters. If you are an accountant or an aspiring accountant, read that book. But
It's
then
called?
you know, Bean Counters.
Being counters.
Yeah, bean counters.
Yeah.
And Ngiti, we are called bean counters accountants.
Yeah.
So at the back,
Yeah.
and then it's a book about the professional accountancy
Yeah.
career and auditing and all those scandals that happened in the United Kingdom. And then the summary of the book, it says that this book is about people who drive the auditing profession, who actually have a potential of, or who earn as much as a Premiership soccer player.
Yeah, that's good motivation right there. That's motivation to become an accountant. Can I be an accountant with my law degree? Can I just jump in my law degree and become an accountant?
Do you know that guy who used to be a former Manchester United chairman? I think he retired 2-3 years ago. Is it Michael? I just forgot his name.
Yeah.
He's not actually a traditional accountant. He studied physics.
Ooh.
And then he became a chartered accountant. So the world is your oyster, man. There's ACCA here, and then you can become a professional accountant and an auditor.
Thank you so much. And I love the fact that you made it so simple. I love the fact that you also brought it to examples that you ever can relate to. I love the fact that you also hit the nail in a coffin. Hit the coffin. What do you say? Yeah.
Yeah.
By saying, hey, with this money.
Yeah.
But the biggest motivation in the world
yes,
is
yes.
money. But thank you so much, and I appreciate taking the opportunity to come, sit down, simplify this profession, because, as you said, whatever time we tend to, when we speak about accounting, we speak about auditors, we tend to say it's a boring profession.
Yes.
We don't like to open it up. And I think this conversation is us opening up that
Yeah.
the profession is more than just sitting down and just reading numbers.
Yeah.
It's more than just typing. There's more to, there's more ambition, and there's more pathways to become an accountant, to become an auditor now with ACCA being accredited as well. So thank you so much for coming in. I truly appreciate it. And to you, everyone watching, and those who will be listening to the podcast, thank you so much for the opportunity just to spend the past 10 minutes or 15 minutes listening to us as we talk. And also do remember, guys, hit the like button and subscribe button, and also let me know in the comment section what you think about the profession. Have your your opinions. Hey, English guys, it's running away right now. Your opinion about the profession changed from the beginning of the episode to now. Until next time, guys, be safe.